Have you ever heard the advertising slogan of one candy product, crunchy on the outside, soft and chewy on the inside? Sounds interesting, di ba? And it sounds yummy when it refers to some candy bar. What you find on the outside is different from what you discover on the inside. This, however, doesn't apply in a good way with people, especially when it comes to matters of faith. You don't want to be seen as faithfully prayerful on the outside, but really unfaithful on the inside. There are many people who sound good when they pray in public. Some are even quite poetic with their prayers. They can be very impressive. The real deal, however, is how they pray when they are in private. It is possible to be dutiful in prayer, praying many times in a day, praying in the morning when you wake up, praying before you eat, praying during lunch break, praying before you go to bed. And yet, it is possible to not be in real communion with God. Sometimes, in the flurry of activity that we supposedly do for God, it is possible to fail to make a genuine and deep connection with God. Our faith remains skin deep. Our profession of love for God does not go deep down to our very core. Just like with relationships, very often, it is not just about the quantity of time or the amount of time you spend in prayer. It is also about quality time, or how you spend the time to commune with God. The problem is often caused by our concern about ourselves. We're concerned about our needs. We have wants and desires that we petition God to give us. We have things to do and tasks to accomplish during the day that we want God to bless. And we want God to protect us and take care of us throughout the day. Our prayers are often about me, me, me. We spend our time in prayer really thinking about ourselves. Prayer is about giving time to focus on God. It is a relatively short period of time within our day when we intentionally focus not on what we need, on what we want, on what we're about to do, but rather we focus on the one who knows what's best for us, who knows our needs and wants, and definitely knows what we ought to do for the day. Jesus teaches us a lot of things about true prayers. This is what he said in the Gospel according to Matthew. And when you pray, you must not be like the hypocrites, for they love to stand and pray in the synagogues and at the street corners, that they may be seen by others. Truly, I say to you, they have received their reward. But when you pray, go into your room and shut the door and pray to your Father who is in secret. And your Father who sees in secret will reward you. Jesus tells us that it is possible to be hypocritical in prayer. We look like we're praying, but in truth, we are not. Jesus tells us that what we ought to do is really give serious time to focus on God alone and nothing else. And this is difficult to do when there are a lot of distractions. We need to go to a private place where we can be alone with God, even for just a few minutes. When you're spending time with God in private, there's no one to impress. There's no room for pretensions. You are with God in your truest self. It is just you and God, one-on-one. And guess what? The passage says that if you do this, your Father in heaven will reward you. Now, I don't know what reward that could be, but I'm pretty sure I'd be delighted with it. As you learn to spend quality time in prayer with God, always remember, faith matters too.